Hey guys, what's up? It's Solo, and I know, I'm late again. Well, I've actually made the decision to actually start uploading at 2:30 my time. The reason why that is because then it gives me time before I do, or it gives me time so then when I wake up, I'm not immediately needing to roll over, edit an entire video, and get it out. So yeah, but I'm doing actually a special version of this video. So originally there was only 3 videos planned. There was PvP, Gambit, and PvE or Vanguard Strikes. And a reason why I was doing that is because they do seem like they need a rework. But I'm going to discuss my issues with one particular thing, which is raids. And the reason why I have issues with raids. So you guys don't know, in this season, I've actually been quite active with the raid community. In fact, I just had someone take me through Deepstone Crypt, and then I finished like Duality and stuff like that. As you can see, I am about 2 from the Pinnacle cap this season. And I've been really active with the community. I've carried some people through the raid, the new one, King's Fall. And I've also had a really, really bad time going through King's Fall. And we're going to talk about, I don't know, some things that are going to help improve this. Now, one of the big things I want to point out is the LFG system is going to help this. The reason why is because since it's going to be based on Guardian ranks, which are coming with Lightfall, you're going to be able to see who is in your fire team. Now, I know this is going to probably spawn some more elitism because people are going to be like, you have to be this Guardian rank to join. But it's also going to make it easier. They have a filter system for these like LFG posts that are basically to pinpoint like which ones are new for new players and which ones aren't. So then you don't end up like I did. So to give you guys a story of what happened particularly to me, I have done the raid for King's Fall about 6 times, I want to say, 5-6 times. And what happened was I was playing on Tuesday. I was like, okay, it's been long enough. I will, I'll just try to find a raid team to just run through it, because my buddies were gonna run it, and then we couldn't get anything down, so I decided, you know what, I'll just find a raid team. Well, that ended up being a bad idea. Here's the reason why. So with these like raid teams, right, I was sitting there seeing, oh yeah, know what to do, and I was messaging people, oh, I know what to do. Mind you, with my power level, I'm at 1585 at the time, because I hadn't done a bunch of pinnacles by then. But I was at 1585, so it's not like I was just brand new hopping into the raid at 1560. I was at least decently powered up to actually do the raid. Well, so this person posts know what to do, and I message them because they're like, oh yeah, DM if you want in. So I did, and next thing I know, this person is getting like people in there. I join up. The whole group of them is quiet, right? Mind you, there's only 2 that are actually in the like main 2 are trying to get this done. But anyway, it's I'm guessing it was a female. I'm not gonna try to guess gender identity at this point, but it was 2 people. One had a little bit higher pitched voice. The other one had like what sounded like a teenager voice. Anyway. So we get in there, and me and another guy, we're just chilling. We get the third one. The third guy gets in, and he's like, man, it's quiet in here. And they're like, yeah. Anyway, so we get through relics, right? And in this Discord server, by the way, they had like rules, like for example with Oryx, oh, if you had the aura, you can also get the aura, get your bombs while you had the aura. Even though it's a lot easier for somebody else to get the bombs, so then they can just stand in middle, which I don't get why they need someone. I don't know. It's stupid. But anyway, we get done with relics, and we're on to the jumping puzzle. And the first thing I hear out of this like teenagers' mouths, and these two mouths is they're talking about the raid jacket and the raid ring. I was like, yeah, I bought my raid jacket from Val, and I'm still waiting for it. And their Slack comment was, oh, well, it'll probably be here by the time we get to totems. And I was like, that's kind of rude. Like, okay, I get it. Because what happened was I died on the jumping puzzle, but it spawned me all the way back into the middle of it, even though I was basically done with it. So, you know, shitty spawns, you know. Anyway, so I get done with the jumping puzzle. We get on the totems, and then we get done with totems, and then we get to War Priest. Now, this is where things kind of hit the fan. Especially with some of us. So one of us ended up leaving during this encounter because of how these people acted. And if you act like this to your raid group, you should be ashamed of yourself. So these two, right, we get to War Priest. We do the first DPS phase, right? And it's like, okay, you know what? It's about half of his health. That's cool. Anyway, we get done with that first damage phase. We're like, oh, okay, cool. Second damage phase hits, and we get to it, and we get done with it, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, wipe. And of course, everybody else in the room is confused. And they're like, we didn't do enough DPS. Now, mind you, the only time you ever hear people complain about DPS or like how many DPS phases it takes is if they're trying to speedrun the raid. And they're like, and when they got called out about this, they're like, I never said anything about speedrunning. But the issue is that's the only reason to 2-phase War Priest. Like, anyway, so they get all butthurt about us talking about damage because I'm definitely at this point basically telling them they're being children because they're, you know, sitting here talking about DPS, and then as soon as one of our guys leaves, the guy who had the highest DPS, mind you, the teenager guy was bitching about his DPS because he had the second highest DPS, but quote unquote he had to get a knight. Which doesn't matter because most of the time people usually have about even DPS even if you're getting a knight. So I don't get why that even like is a thing. But anyway, we get done with War Priest. Me and this one guy were arguing with him that it shouldn't matter what DPS we do. He has like a guaranteed 4-phase. With 4 phases, you know, being the max, because then you go into, you know, the last stand for Guardians if you get to the 4th phase because you don't have any more pillars left. But regardless, we get done with him. We go to Golgoroth, and then we get to Golgoroth, and mind you, this whole time they're running the raid as if it's just them. Like, I've never seen people sweat so hard in a raid that was supposed to just be casual and know what to do, you know? Because these kids were like pulling out, what was it? Is it the other half? I think it is. But like the other half doing, you know, the sword floating technique to go across the jumping puzzle. Because, you know, they can't be bothered to do it normally. They have to do it as quick as possible, but quote unquote they're not speed running the raid, which makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry if you are, and I will tell you, if they ever find this video, I will tell you this to your face, actually. Y'all are not fucking speed runners. If you're gonna sit there and speed run, put it in your post. I don't care. You can act like it's not a speed run all you want. But if you're sitting there not only sorting across gaps, but also bitching about people's DPS on War Priest, then you need to realign your post. Because nobody in that group that was bitching at you was there because they wanted to speed run the raid. They just wanted to get it done for the week. And if you guys are going to sit there like that, nobody's going to want to raid with you. Because you're being elitist at that point. Where if anyone isn't up to your raid, quote unquote raid standards, then you get mad at them and talk shit about them. And if any one of you guys who watches this video acts like that in your raid team, you should be ashamed of yourself. People come out to raid because they want to get it done, and you're gonna act that elite to them. You're an asshole. Like, plain and simple. You're an asshole, and honestly, you should go outside. Like, if speedrunning the raid's that important to you, you should go outside. Just saying. But anyway, that's one of the things that irritates me about raids, is that it feels like everybody has to, like, there are a lot of people that quote unquote have to get the raid done as fast as possible because they want to farm the raid. I hate that mentality. I don't like farming raids just because of, you know, rolls. I've never farmed for a roll from a raid. I literally, this gun I have right now, I got on my first time through along with the raid exotic, which I was lucky to even get because all the other raids I've been through, I've never gotten the raid exotic. But that's another thing, is raid exotics should have what Duality did for Heart Shadow, which is the more achievements you get and the more times you run it, it should be less and less of a, or more and more of a chance to get the exotic. Because then, you know, you're not going to have people using an OP strat with these exotics that, speaking of exotics, anyway, with exotics that people don't have, you know, and it's going to cause less issues. Now, I definitely think that Bungie's LFG inside the game is going to be a lot better, because it feels like they're going to be able to regulate a lot more how people present everything. For example, with the like filtering, because if they have it so then you can like filter by like newcomers and stuff like that, that's gonna be great, because then all the elitists who are gonna sit there and like post know what to do posts on day one of raids, even, and ask for people who have day one emblems, and then, you know, 50 plus clears in a raid, which by the way, it took me 5 clears to be able to Sherpa 3 people through King's Fall. So I don't know why I need 50 plus raid clears to do a day one, but okay. But anyway, so yeah, that's my big thing about raids, is mostly the people behind them. There are some raids that are just kind of, how do I put it? They have a lot of potential with like their gear, but then like some parts of the gear just suck. Like for example, I just did Deepstone Crypt, got every piece of gear but the mark, and I do not like the helmet. The helmet looks like the most out of place part of the raid. Like, and some of you might hear me talk about raids and talk about, you know, that experience with like elitist people bitching and moaning about DPS, but not every single raid team is like that. Like I said, I pulled 3 people through King's Fall just because I was so mad about the fact that those people had done that. I literally took, there was people, I was sitting there inside the LFG, and I was like posting in the Sherpa chat, I was like, hey, I'm looking to run new people through King's Fall. And they got in there, and we were just making jokes the entire time. Like, we were just having fun with it, you know, we were talking about different stuff with Bungie and all this other stuff. We were just having a time with it, and that's what usually raid teams should be about, because if you're being super serious all the time, nobody's gonna have fun with the game. But yeah, another thing is like, I definitely feel like the raid shaders are, I don't know, because like the raid shaders compared to like the playlist shaders is like a weird comparison now, because like the raid shader, both of them, the flawless and the regular, or the flawless and the secret chest one, kind of like they're cool and all, but like kind of are meh compared to something like the Crucible shader this season, or even the Iron Banner shader this season. Which, by the way, I did get, if you guys haven't seen yet, I did, in fact, get all 3 of the, activity shaders this season. So, Scarlet Semblance. See, look at that. Scarlet Semblance just looks sick. Dusk Bloom looks great. It looks like, you know, very like copper or etched. Ancient Wisdom, it's pretty cool for what it is, but also like has its own, I guess, unique uses. And then like this one where it makes me look like a snake, like that's just great. But yeah, some of the raid stuff is kind of falling a little behind, but I don't blame them. It was, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, but as far as it goes with raids, I definitely think being, I guess, more beginner inviting, like not making a raid easier, of course, just being more beginner inviting, I think would be better than, you know, this elitism that's surrounding raids at this point. Like, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck if you got a day 1 emblem. That doesn't give you a right to act like a complete dickhead. And that's what those two were doing, is they had day 1 raid emblems and they were both acting like dickheads. And it's just stupid. I'm sorry, some of y'all get the biggest egos with day 1 emblems, and it's stupid. I get it, you have a big achievement, that's great for you. But don't sit there and use that to be a dick, you know? There's being proud of yourself, and then there's growing an ego so big that everybody can see you, you know, basically see you jerking off to yourself in the corner, you know? There's a difference between both. Like, it's cool to celebrate, but it's also bad to be an egotistical dick about it. But yeah, that's my big spiel about raids for the most part. I do wish that there was what should we call it? It'd be cool if there was like guides in the game, because I hate having to go all the way to YouTube because nobody wants to really quote unquote teach anymore. Besides like certain people who want a Sherpa. But like if you get into like a random group and you know you want to know how the raid works, you have to sit there and watch a 30-minute YouTube video. Heck, I saw people back when WoW came out making people watch like 2-hour-long videos. And that just shouldn't be a thing. I'm sorry. People should be able to, you know, boost themselves up into the next, like, I guess, class of playing Destiny. And, I mean, not everybody's gonna be like me or someone else who's sitting, you know, right near the pinnacle cap all the time. Oh. Well, isn't that interesting? It dropped higher than my boots are. That's kind of funny. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's going to do it for this special edition talking about raids. If you guys want me to cover anything else in my Let's Talk About series, let me know. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you like the video, comment down below. And don't forget to hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.